it is getting intense out there, isn't it, guys? You guys are probably like, why the hell is she laughing? We're going through hell right now. I just don't resonate with the fear. I don't. I don't resonate with the doubt. I don't resonate with the, you know, I'm just going to share this, okay? I had a dream. Of course, Spirit uses dreams to encourage me to give you messages. And last night I was like, everything has been amazing the last few days for me, regardless of what's happening in the world. It was just as hard for me to watch that show they put on for the inauguration as it was for you guys. Like, I don't even know why I sat and watched it, because it was just hard reading about, like, just looking at a bunch of people where you read like very, very low evil vibrational frequencies and energies. Like, it's hard to watch that, but I also watched it with the knowingness that this is all just a show, okay? And this is all just a gift too. And so in my dream, it was basically me running around this house where there were just random people. One room would be kids. Like, I would go into a bathroom and there would be like a big bathroom. It was weird. And there would be like kids in there, and they would be like ridiculing me. And then I go into another room and there'd be like a bunch of women on the couch, like, you know, just having girl talk or whatever. And one was breastfeeding a baby. It was so weird. And they were just like shaming and ridiculing me. And I was just like, it was a horrible dream. But being in it, it felt so real, you know? And at the end of the dream, it was like all these women on the couch, and they were just like telling me, you know, just ridiculing me in every aspect, judging all these things. And I was telling them, and I wrote it down. I was like, don't you see your hypocrisy? It's so weird. I woke myself up talking in my sleep. I've always talked in my sleep. Since I was a child. I cry, like I'll wake up crying, or I'll wake up laughing, or other people will be like, dude, you were like saying stuff in your sleep. I spoke light language in my sleep. Like, so I do connect and receive a lot in my sleep. And a lot of times before I even go to bed, I'll ask Spirit to create healing, help me heal in my sleep, in my dream state. Because when you're so connected, you can use that. And if you set that intention, it is very beneficial. So for me, I'll ask for messages. I'll ask for all types of stuff before I go to sleep. And I always protect myself too. All I say is something quick, like, I call on the divine light of the universe to pour love and white light into every cell of my body, and that only things of the highest good would come into my experience through my dream state and my waking state. And things like that. Like, I say these things all day long. I am speaking high vibrational energies into existence, and saying them out loud. I say it out loud. I say it in my head. When I drive, I definitely say things out loud. Okay, back to the dream. So when all these women who were like ridiculing me, and it's so funny, it was like this scene of like the gossipy bully, like, you know how women can be, even high school girls, like whatever. And that's just people in general. And I wrote it down because I didn't want to miss anything that I had said. And I woke myself up saying these things like in a passionate way. And it's so weird. I've woken myself up so many times being like telling somebody in my dream about how the universe works. Okay. Just like being me in my dream, basically. Back before I was awake, it was it wasn't like that. The dreams were bad because it was like I didn't know myself yet. But anyways, I was like, don't you see your hypocrisy? Like, you're spewing hate, which is the complete opposite of if you really felt that I was so lost. Wouldn't the medicine that I need be love, right? And I was like, you worship false idols and materialism. and you operate with inverted values that are the complete opposite of the light. So I woke myself up saying that. And I was like, whoa, okay. And then I was just like I normally do. I was just sitting with spirit and letting the downloads come in. And a lot came in too. Lance is on his way to Virginia right now driving. So he had called me because he left at like 4:30 in the morning because he wanted to get there early to pick his girls up and really make the most of the weekend. And a lot of downloads came in through our conversation as well. But it was just like these souls are so far removed from the light. And right now, everybody is feeling, not everybody, but a lot of people en masse that haven't quite reached this fifth dimensional frequency of knowingness and of like really not caring what people think. They're sitting there feeling like they are being judged because they put so much faith and hope and they want it to happen so badly that when it doesn't happen the way they think it's supposed to happen, it's like, oh, they just like melt down internally and they just feel like everyone is judging them, right? And I was telling Lance this on the phone. He said something, we were talking about how people care what other people think. And he was like, yeah, it's like that song, I ain't worried about nothing. And it's just like, it's so funny. It's like people are a walking contradiction. Because unless you're in 5D, you're probably in a space where you care what people think. So what I mean by a walking contradiction, it's like the same person who writes a song like that. I don't even know who sings that song or whatever, because I don't keep up with stuff like that. But the same person is probably, consumes himself in materialism. Why? Because they want to be seen in a certain way. They care what people think. A lot of people who won't leave their marriage, why won't they leave it? Because they care what people think. Why won't somebody, make whatever change it is? Because they care what people think. And the thing of it is like there's so many qualities that come with being in a fifth dimensional frequency, and those things are what we are being gifted with right now. If we will come into a space to receive those gifts, things like resilience, patience, perseverance, knowingness, and that faith that you're looking for is in knowing that all the answers are right here. All the support you need is right here within you. It's not these false idols. It doesn't matter what anyone thinks about what you believe. What's that got to do with you? Absolutely nothing. And people just don't trust themselves. And I wrote down notes, and I don't want to forget all these downloads, and I want to give them to you in a very in the way that I receive them. So I don't want to just go off the cuff too crazy, because I want to make sure I hit these points that Spirit wanted you guys to hear. And what I got was people don't trust themselves. They're not using their own discernments. They keep reaching for these people or external experiences that make them feel like everything's okay. And when it doesn't happen the way they want it to happen or way they really hoped it would happen, they want to blame and go into victim mode. Because that is what our default is. That is how we're programmed. And it's the whole, you ain't worried about nothing, but you are worried about what other people think of you. If you're quick to go into victim mode and to blame somebody who was out here, exposing truth and believed in what this movement is, blaming them because it didn't go out. Guys, look to yourself. Stop looking externally to feel better about what's going on and how you feel inside of your own body. How you feel has more to do with what you have not healed internally through your own life on an individual level than anything. And you guys I'm not saying you guys, like none of you are in the fifth dimension, you are. I'm just giving this message to you, and sometimes it comes out preachy, but that's not that's not my intention. My intention is to just share a message. But it's just victim mentality. It's just fear. And no one knows what's going to happen. Timelines can change. And this is the thing. If we truly want this timeline to play out in this exciting new earth, which is already here. If you just step into it, if we want it to play out, it has to start with you. It has to start with me. It has to start with every single person on an individual level, healing themselves, claiming a higher vibrational frequency, really truly not caring what people think, being able to sit through the demons trying to claim power over us, but knowing that you are more powerful than every single demon that sat through that inauguration ceremony put together when you are connected to source. So, I see even people that are like in the spiritual community and have a lot of followers and stuff being ridiculed right now, and they're going through their own process right now to level up, because you know what, those people, they already know what it is, and they already know that that's a gift. And it doesn't make it any easier. It doesn't make it easy when I wake up from a nightmare, because I'm an empath and I feel the collective energy of like ridicule. Everybody feels like they're just backed into this corner, and like the whole world is just like going to shit. And that is just false. That's false. Don't feed into that fear. You are so powerful. And at some point, you have to recognize that. And when you recognize that, you can alchemize all of that fear, all of that doubt, all of that worry, just through the recognition of who you truly are. Just through the recognition of just saying, oh, I might have been wrong about that, or I might have been wrong about this. And then being able to say, I choose something different, something that serves me. And this is the ultimate test of mastery. It's breaking down everybody's low vibrational baggage they've been carrying around for so long. And let's just be honest, the world that we live in is so consumed with people pleasing, caring what other people think. Like, we want so badly for the world to change for everybody, but in order for the world to change, we have to change. We have to step into higher vibrations, and we have to do that on an individual level and then come together to create that power. It's like it's like a relationship. Everybody wants that perfect relationship, and once they find that perfect person, it's just like, okay, everything's gonna be great. And that's not how it's gonna work, because you're just gonna keep meeting until you meet yourself with that unconditional love, until you connect with source, until you heal what needs to be healed. You will only repeat cycles. You will only attract somebody who's a vibrational match to what you have not healed and they have not healed. You will be a vibrational match to that. So my best advice in those situations is heal yourself, and then you'll be a vibrational match to somebody who has also done the same thing, instead of trying to force a square peg into a round hole. And that's the same thing that's happening en masse right now. Heal yourself if you want to be a vibrational match to the knowingness, the faith, the not being shaken by watching a fucking demons try to do a fucking play of inauguration. It's all theater. And, a lot of people talk about the split. And I totally see that. And I don't know how that's going to manifest en masse in the physical, but I see it energetically. And so mastering being in the moment. It's like the fear of the unknown. People are struggling right now because the comfort zone is the known. Knowing what's going to happen in the future. Yeah, it would have been really freaking convenient for the person you wanted to get into office, to know the struggle is over, and oh my gosh, the sun is just like piercing through the clouds right now. Just to know that the struggle is over, and the demons that have been controlling shit for thousands of years aren't in control anymore. But that doesn't teach you mastery of having that knowingness in the moment, of not caring what people think. And if you are a master, then you are stepping into that. And you are much less bothered by what's going on right now. So use this as a scale to see where you're at. And if you see those fears and those worries and stuff coming up, recognize them. Find the root of them inside of you. And it has nothing to do with what's going on right now. It has to do with you and your own healing process. And once you do that, once you get comfortable and find peace in the midst of the dark, what seems on the 3D to be dark, that's when that's where all the magic happens. That's when you find peace in the moment. That's why when it doesn't matter what happens in the future, because I'm a vibrational match to what is of the highest good of new earth with 5D of everything that I desire. Everybody's making a choice right now. Do you want to live in fear, or do you want to step in to new earth with everybody else who finds peace in this moment right now? If you're watching my video right now, it's not a far jump. You're not a lost soul. Like, you're not one of those, like, people that seemingly probably will not ever get there in this lifetime. Those are the people that agree with the censoring of truth. Those are the people that are just going along for the ride because they truly do care what people think. If they didn't care what people think, they would start resonating with truth and they would move towards that timeline. But even if you've moved towards that timeline, you have to make that choice. And that choice will bring you peace. But in order to make that choice, you have to do the work, which is heal. And you have to recognize things. You have to take those signs and synchronicities and every little thing that you get from the universe and use that as a tool to figure out your own shit. Own it, recognize that it's there, and then alchemize it in your own way. Don't rely on somebody's YouTube video to create peace within you. Allow it to trigger something in you, and then move into that peace so you can create that peace yourself. You can create that knowingness yourself. You don't need whatever's happening externally to turn out a certain way to find peace. You are the peace. You are the love. You are the light. You. There's no guru. There's no savior. That's where people went wrong. Jesus was trying to tell us he was a light worker. He was trying to point you within. And everybody wanted to worship him. They wanted to worship him as an idol. He was a light, a beacon of light, an example of what the light is, example of what we need to step into. The Christ consciousness that we need to step into for our own selves and connect to. The Christ consciousness is a connection. And when you connect to that, you see how you're connected to everything. You are an aspect of God experiencing itself. I really just want to trigger something inside of everybody that watches this video to empower you. And please have discernment. Have discernment. How does it feel in your body when somebody gives you a nugget of information? And then if somebody gives you something, and then they give you something that doesn't resonate, not necessarily throwing the baby out with the bathwater, taking what resonates, leave what doesn't. I'll give you a perfect example of this. There's a man named Bishop Larry Gators, and he is like a walking encyclopedia of red pilling people. This man knows so much and he has so much knowingness, right? But he also has this attachment to religion. But I'll tell you what, I'll sit and watch his videos and learn so much. and also listen to his perspective that I don't necessarily resonate about, his perspective of the spiritual aspect of things. And I'll be able to honor his light in what I do resonate with, but at the same time, allow him to, you know, that's his healing work that he for him to work on, right? And be able to take what resonates and leave what doesn't, and not just like throw the baby out with the bathwater. And that's what we have to do with you should do that with me. If something I say doesn't resonate with you, then don't take it. If something triggers something in you that I say that resonates with you, then take it. And take it from and let it dance in your own perspective. I'm giving you what I receive from my perspective, from what I've experienced through my whole life. And what I've experienced is not what you've experienced. And once you get to that point where you can be so discerning and just be in your knowingness, you're not worried about like following the wrong person or them saying something that might disappoint you because they weren't right about something, or they predicted something and it was wrong. It doesn't matter, because when you sit in knowingness, you're in peace no matter what. You're mastering this moment, the only thing that exists right now. Everything's happening all at once. Your higher self knows that whatever this future is that we can't see with our 3D perspective has already happened, and it's going to be great. So when you connect, you can step into that. And that's how you find peace. That's how you find that peace that a lot of people are looking for right now. That peace of like not having to worry. No matter what it looks like on the outside, don't worry, because you're connected. And when you're connected, you find that peace. I don't want to keep talking in circles, guys, and saying the same thing, but this is so important right now. For you to step into your own connection and power and peace and knowingness. Because when you do that, then you're not worried about what people think. You're not worried about what's going on externally. You're not worried that somebody you really, really respected said something was going to happen and it didn't. It doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is you learn how to connect and find peace in this moment, and that knowingness that all is well. Because there's a part of you who is already sitting in that future, 5D, beautiful communities and new earth and all these things that we're manifesting and then have already manifested in a different time, space, reality. I love you guys so much. And I might be going live since Lance isn't home, and after the kids go to bed. And I know that's not going to work for people on the other side of the world, but if you're in the United States, there's a possibility this weekend, tonight, tomorrow night, or the night after, that I might go live just to be with you guys, because I feel you. I feel you. I am so deeply connected to the collective energy. And I want to be here for you guys, and that's why I've been making more videos than I typically would. And that's why I sit out here in this freezing cold truck and make videos for you guys, because I can't, because my kids are inside. Make them inside. But I'm here for you guys. I truly am. And I'm here to empower you into your own power. So, yeah. Sending you guys so much love and light. So much love and light. This is an exciting time to be alive if you can claim it and you can step into that peace and knowingness. It truly is. I'll see you guys later.